Red tools. Red tools are consumable, combat-focused items requiring replenishment at benches. They provide active, tactical advantages, such as traps or quick attacks. Straight pin. Found in the marrow, inside Grindel's cell. A quick throw tool that allows Hornet to deal light damage to enemies rapidly. It's useful for fast, repeated attacks, but doesn't cause much damage per hit. Ideal for swift strikes in combat. Threefold pin. Found in Greymoor at Craw Lake, in a small room guarded by a tall craw. This tool throws 3 pins at once, allowing Hornet to hit multiple enemies or targets. It deals medium damage per pin and is good for clearing groups of enemies. Sting Shard. Purchased from Forge Daughter in Deep Docks for 140 rosaries and 1 craft metal. The Sting Shard sets a trap that activates when enemies step on it. Upon activation, it pierces enemies and deals significant damage. Great for controlling areas and setting ambushes. Tax. Rewarded after completing the Roach Guts wish. Scattered pins that cover the ground, damaging any enemy who steps on them. Useful for creating area denial against swarms or blocking tight passages. Long pin. Located in Shellwood above the main entrance to Bellheart, blocked by a wood wasp nest. The long pin is a heavy, weighted pin that deals high damage to enemies, especially those with strong armor. It's ideal for piercing through tough enemy shells or defenses. Curve Claw. Purchased from Mottled Scar in Hunter's March for 140 rosaries, or found if Scar is dead. A sharp bone used to deal medium damage to flying enemies. Its curved shape allows Hornet to hit enemies in the air more easily, useful for aerial combat. Curve Sickle. Obtained by giving the Curve Claw to a Mottled Scar scout in Act 3, located in the target practice room above the Farfield's Bellway station. The Curve Sickle is a longer, sharper version of the Curve Claw, offering more range and dealing greater damage to both grounded and airborne enemies.
Throwing Ring. Rewarded after completing the Trail's End wish from Chakra. The throwing ring rebounds off surfaces and enemies, hitting multiple targets. It deals medium damage with each bounce, and is effective for hitting enemies in different directions. Pimpillo. Crafted in a hidden room in northwest Greymoor, requiring 1 craft metal. The Pimpillo is a volatile explosive that detonates on impact. It deals massive area damage to enemies in its blast radius, making it a powerful tool for clearing groups of enemies. Conch Cutter. Found inside Coral Tower in Sands of Karak. The Conch Cutter ricochets off walls and surfaces, hitting enemies multiple times. Its spiral design allows it to strike multiple targets in one throw, dealing moderate damage to each. Silk Shot. First discovered as the ruined tool in Weavenest Merglin, it can be restored in 3 different ways. Forge Daughter repairs it for 240 rosaries and 1 craft metal, producing the strongest version. The 12th Architect restores a balanced variant for 140 rosaries and 1 craft metal. Third option, Mount Fay Chamber. A single craft metal is enough for the weakest but cheapest repair. All 3 fire silk-charged projectiles, but their damage and refill cost depend entirely on who you trust to rebuild it. Delver's Drill. Found in the Underworks. The Delver's Drill bores through both terrain and enemies. It drills through obstacles, allowing Hornet to break through barriers or damage enemies in a line, making it useful for tunneling and combat. Cogwork Wheel. Purchased from 12th Architect for 360 rosaries and 1 craft metal. The Cogwork Wheel is a rotating, circular blade that cuts through enemies and obstacles. Its motorized action helps clear paths and deal continuous damage to enemies within range. Cogfly. Found at a crafting bench in High Halls. The Cogfly is a small, flying, mechanical companion that automatically attacks enemies in its path. It provides passive combat support, dealing consistent damage to nearby enemies, while Hornet focuses on other threats.
Rosary Cannon.
Located behind a locked door in High Halls, east of the sub-area The Forum. The Rosary Cannon uses rosaries to reload and fires powerful projectiles. It's a long-range weapon that deals massive damage in a single shot. ideal for taking down large enemies from a distance. Volt Vessels. Found behind a hidden wall in the top right of Memoriam. The Volt Vessels are charged orbs that can be thrown as bolas or used as spears. They discharge electricity upon impact, dealing electric damage to enemies in the blast radius. Flint Slate. The Flint Slate is found in the deep docks, beyond the Simple Key door. The Flint Slate temporarily superheats the needle's blade, dealing 50% extra damage for 8 seconds. It imbues each slash with fire, adding extra damage over time. Snare Setter. The Snare Setter can be found in a secret room within Weavenest Atla. The Snare Setter creates a trap that ignites when enemies step into it. The trap deals moderate fire damage to any enemy caught, ideal for crowd control and setting ambushes. Flea Brew. Obtained after helping the Flea Caravan. The Flea Brew boosts movement and attack speed temporarily, allowing Hornet to move faster and deal more damage. It's useful for quick, high-pressure situations where speed is essential. Plasmium File. Rewarded for completing the Alchemist's Assistant task. The Plasmium File temporarily increases Hornet's health beyond normal limits, providing a temporary health boost at the cost of pushing her body past its natural capacity. Needle File. Given after completing both the Alchemist's Assistant and Advanced Alchemy tasks. The Needle File stores and extracts fluids, charging to full tension before being used. It allows for precise control over Hornet's attacks, offering high damage when needed.
Blue Tools. Passive, combat-enhancing items that provide defensive or supportive effects. They improve Hornet's abilities during battle, such as increased healing, protection, or damage reduction, without being consumed. Druid's Eye. Obtained after completing the berry-picking task. The Druid's Eye regenerates silk when damage is taken, allowing Hornet to keep using tools even after being hit. It's helpful for managing resources during tough battles. Druid's Eyes. An upgraded version of the Druid's Eye. The Druid's Eye grants faster silk regeneration, allowing Hornet to use more tools and abilities in a shorter amount of time, giving a tactical advantage in prolonged battles. Magma Bell. Purchased from Forge Daughter in Deep Docks for 110 rosaries and 1 craft metal. The Magma Bell reduces damage taken from fire and magma, making it invaluable in areas filled with heat hazards, such as volcanic regions. Warding Bell. Found in far fields. The Warding Bell shields Hornet while binding wounds, offering extra protection when healing or recovering from damage in combat. Polyp Pouch. Acquired after completing the Rite of the Polyp task. The Polyp Pouch applies venom to equipped tools, causing attacks to deal poison damage over time, useful for weakening enemies in long battles. Fractured Mask. Purchased from Mottled Scar for 260 rosaries. The Fractured Mask provides protection from critical damage, but breaks after taking a hit. It's useful for surviving powerful attacks in high-risk situations. Multi-Binder. Bought from Frey in Hunter's March for 880 rosaries after completing the My Missing Courier task. The Multi-Binder increases binding speed, allowing Hornet to heal and recover more quickly during combat, enhancing her ability to stay in the fight. Weave Light. Found in Weavenest Atla after defeating Moss Mothers. The Weave Light increases silk regeneration speed, allowing Hornet to recover silk faster, making it easier to use tools and attack during intense battles. Sawtooth Circlet. Purchased from 12th Architect for 230 rosaries and 1 craft metal. The Sawtooth Circlet creates a spinning blade effect around Hornet, damaging nearby enemies while reducing incoming damage, providing both offense and defense. Injector Band. Found in Whiteward. The Injector Band speeds up the binding action, allowing Hornet to heal or apply buffs more quickly, making it essential for fast recovery in battle. Spool Extender. Bought from Jubilana for 720 rosaries. The Spool Extender increases the amount of silk Hornet can store, letting her use more tools in combat and providing greater flexibility for her attacks. Reserve Bind. Rewarded after completing the final audience wish. The Reserve Bind holds extra silk in reserve, allowing Hornet to heal more efficiently when her health is low, making it crucial for survival in prolonged fights. Claw Mirror. Rewarded after defeating Trobio in the stage.
The Claw Mirror creates a dazzling flash when binding wounds, damaging nearby enemies. It's a useful tool for dealing with swarms of enemies while healing. Claw Mirrors. Rewarded after defeating Tormented Trobio in the stage. The Claw Mirrors emit a searing blast when binding wounds, causing additional damage to enemies around Hornet, offering both healing and offensive power.
Memory Crystal.
Found in a hidden room in southwest Mount Fay. The Memory Crystal generates sharp spines when Hornet takes damage. These spines pierce enemies that come into contact with them, providing a retaliatory damage effect. Snitch Pick. Purchased from Grindel for 740 rosaries. The Snitch Pick allows Hornet to steal rosaries and shell shards from enemies, dealing extra damage while collecting resources during combat. Volt Filament. Rewarded for defeating Volt Verm in Volt Nest, the Volt Filament adds an electric charge to Hornet's attacks, giving her the ability to deal electric damage to enemies, making her tools even more versatile. Quick Sling. Found in bile water behind a breakable ceiling. The Quick Sling doubles the number of tools thrown at once, allowing Hornet to unleash rapid attacks in quick succession, making it easier to handle large groups of enemies. Wreath of Purity. Found in a secret passage within putrefied ducts. The Wreath of Purity repels muck maggots and repairs itself when broken, making it an effective defensive tool that helps Hornet deal with environmental hazards. Long Claw. Rewarded for completing the Brood Feast or Runt Feast tasks. The Long Claw extends the range of needle attacks, allowing Hornet to strike enemies from a greater distance, making it easier to fight off groups of enemies. Wispfire Lantern. Rewarded for defeating Father of the Flame in Wisp Thicket. The Wispfire Lantern summons wisps that burn enemies nearby, providing constant damage while also lighting up dark areas, useful for revealing hidden paths or enemies. Egg of Flelia. Given after helping the Flea Caravan. The Egg of Flelia reduces Silk skill costs when Hornet's health is full, making it easier to use her abilities without worrying about Silk depletion. Pin Badge. Rewarded after defeating Pinstress. The Pin Badge reduces the charge time for Needle Strike, allowing Hornet to deal powerful strikes faster and more efficiently during combat. Yellow Tools. Yellow Tools expand movement options and puzzle-solving capabilities across Farloom. They let Hornet traverse hidden paths, unlock shortcuts, manipulate the environment, or reveal secrets. Compass. Bought from Chakra for 70 rosaries. When equipped, Hornet's current location is always visible on the map. Shard Pendant. Found in the Marrow. Increases the number of shell shards Hornet collects after defeating enemies. Magnetite Brooch. Purchased from Peb for 120 rosaries, or from Grindel for 220 rosaries during Act 3. Automatically pulls nearby loose rosary beads toward Hornet. Weighted Belt. Bought from Mort for 160 rosaries, or looted if Mort dies. Reduces recoil from needle strikes and knockback when taking damage. Barbed Bracelet. Located in Sinner's Road. Increases Hornet's damage output, but also makes her take extra damage. Dead Bug's Purse. Found in the Wormways. Lets Hornet retain some rosaries upon death. Shell Satchel. Hidden in the Wormways, but only in Steel Soul mode. Expands the number of crafted tools Hornet can carry. Magnetite Dice. Obtained differently depending on the act you're in. Act 1. Earned by defeating Lumble the Lucky at his minigame 10 times. Act 2. Found beside Lumble's corpse in the Blasted Steps. Act 3. Purchased from Grindel for 300 rosaries. When equipped, it slightly boosts Hornet's luck, improving drop rates. Scuttle Brace. Purchased from 12th Architect for 140 rosaries and 1 craft medal. Improves Hornet's mobility for quicker retreats. Ascendant's Grip. Bought from Jubilana for 350 rosaries. Allows Hornet to cling to walls securely without sliding. Spider Strings. Purchased from Jubilana for 320 after completing the Lost Merchant Wish. Expands effects of the Needlin. Tied to music mechanics, it strengthens Hornet's performance-based abilities. Silk Speed Anklets. Found in Revanest Sindril. Weaver-forged anklets that draw on silk to boost sprinting, letting Hornet cover ground faster when exploring or escaping enemies. Thief's Mark. Found in the Blasted Steps, it can be purchased from Grindel
for 350 rosaries. Increases rosaries gained from enemies, but you lose rosaries when hit. A branded relic that changes how Farloom's NPCs treat Hornet, closing off certain merchants while unlocking others who deal only with outcasts.